What if it's
you mean inside?
Yeah.
If it's a bomb, you'll know soon.
19?
19.
19. The box moves a little. What you're watching is the very beginning of what is now called video gaming. This is the tabletop version. Before there were video games, this is how it was played. And the very earliest video games were text games where you ask questions and then the computer would answer. But this was for 200 years before that. This is how games were played on tabletop. And the average video game uses Dungeons and Dragons as its basis, whether they even know it or not. They're drawing upon the Dungeons and Dragons concept. What Claude and I are making here, and we're introducing this morning, and I'm very excited about this. I hope you're as excited as I am and Claude is about this, because what we're showing you is a way of actually understanding how to operate in other dimensions, how to operate in other universes, how to actually take action in other universes. More than just see. Your beacon will help you to see into those and actually feel into those and experience those things, but it will not give you volition. This is where you learn how to take volition and responsibility, and you start to learn the consequences of your actions and to not take precipitous actions without checking things out first, looking first, testing things first, and so forth. So this is a way of learning how to operate in other parallel universes, parallel worlds, other dimensions, other realities, however you like to say that to you, can state that to yourself. So that is what you're learning here with this particular technique. It is a very important technique. It is not to be bypassed. Don't think you can get away without learning this.
Good timing.
It's perfect timing. What we're saying is we're hoping that people are as excited as we are about this, because it requires a tremendous amount of concentration, a lot of attention, a very profoundly clear imagination, the ability to visualize. So visualization is very required here. And the level of group cooperation is much higher than it is in ordinary life, way higher than ordinary life would be, ordinary life situations. So you're required to put a lot of work between yourselves into communicating, and a lot of what you're communicating is unspoken communication, so it requires of you that you become somewhat telepathic with each other, that you wavelength with each other, it's called. In addition, you're not used to using your imagination or your visualization skills. By the time you're done, you'll be able to use visualization and projection to the point where you actually are able to astral project into a different reality and spend time in that reality working through this mediumistic technique that was called tabletop medium. It's tabletop medium. It's the same thing that a medium does in a seance. In fact, this is a seance. We are looking into a different dimension, a different world entirely from here. And you're operating yourself from a different universe. You're actually standing in one universe, operating yourself in another universe. And there are consequences. There are consequences to your actions. And that's important to understand. There are consequences, and they're real consequences in that universe. So in that universe, you really were dead. And really were smoldering.
Well, yeah, in sort of the negative version of that, EJ and I spent many weeks putting together this fun, elaborate, amazing dungeon scenario when we were working in the palace safaris. And we figured it would take a couple days for people to get through it. So
we wrote in 128 rooms. We figured that that would be enough to hold people for at least a couple of days.
yeah, we thought, but we were basing that on our experience. 3 weeks into it, they had not even entered the dungeon. We started them in a black room, and the reason for that had to do with how Palace was set up. We just had a black screen, and then the idea was that, okay, they start, they look around, they find a door, they go through the door, and bam, they're in the dungeon.
We were black
3
screen for-
weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks just a black screen.
They did
They
not
argued,
find
They
the door.
bitched, they complained, they kvetched. You know
And
what
it-
kvetching is?
And we'd
No,
say,
kvetching,
we'd say
it's
things
Yiddish,
like,
means complaining.
do you look for any doors? No. Okay, then we let them go for a while, and then these would be like 2-3 hour
They
sessions.
argued with each other. All they did was argue with each other for 2 hours every time, and they did this for 3 solid weeks.
So,
Every day.
so your ability to just look around and see that there is a door, maybe go check it out,
Yeah.
you're already so far past
With
where
their
these guys were.
22nd day before they were 22nd day, which is 44 hours later, composite, 44 hours later before they went to the first door. They were arguing so much between themselves.
Finally, we
Everybody
started.
was right. Everyone had to be right. It was amazing. I mean, the ego trips that were going on were just outstandingly incredible. They really were.
No, I want to pick up the box and put it on the...
Okay,
All right,
so you're
try
putting the
that.
box on the
I'm
plate.
going to pick up the box and put it on the plate.
It's a 15.
Yes, it works. It's on the plate, and the plate goes down.
And the
Nothing
door.
happens.
No, nothing else happens. I'm going to leave it there, you guys. We'll run out of time. Okay. Now you get an idea of how to play in other dimensions. And I'll give you a brief glimpse of the dungeon that you're in right now, because you're not going to get back to the same dungeon next time. Ready? This is what the dungeon looked like that you were in. Right there.
Where's the treasure?
So we could...
I'm not going to show you that.
Treasure? What treasure?
Oh yeah, it says treasure, but we don't know what that treasure consists of. It could be a treasure to the frog, maybe not to you. I mean, think of a frog's treasure, and you're thinking the frog really thinks it's fantastic. To a frog, it is fantastic. It's worms and little bugs and mice and all kinds of
maggots, maggots.
yummy stuff.
Num.
Yeah. Zagnut bars, you don't know what it is. You know?
That's a cute.
And if you think this is not exciting, it's only because you haven't played it. You actually have to play this to find out how exciting it can be and how instructive it can be in terms of understanding not just strategy, but personal strategy. Not just understanding how to work together, but how to cooperate, how to communicate cooperatively. Because communication, there's many levels of communication, all the way from really good to really bad. And you're going to need very good levels of communication here, and very good skills in terms of navigation. And you'll find your best map maker. You'll find someone who's your best strategist. You'll find someone who is adept at understanding what is an inventory, how inventory works. Someone who's really good at finding things, just knows how to go about looking for things, to find things. You'll find someone in your party, in your dungeon party, who is good at healing. In other words, really the same skills that you would develop in other kinds of characterization. But in this particular universe that you're in here, it's really happening there. And the thing to understand is that it's really happening. That's what's really important about this. That's real. It's not just an imaginative trip. So, and these have real consequences to those individuals that you're manipulating in that other universe.
So you have a level of responsibility to them.
All right, let's break. And we have some work we need to do. And
photography, photo session.
oh yes, we're going to do a photo session right now.